After the end fight, the men were tired. Their places were ruined, homes, civilizations. What once used to be the best place alive was a place full of anarchy and ruins. They went on boats, had to leave everything behind, and went, hopefully, to a new continent. Upon finding land, it started a spark of new civilizations, not like Vincere and Cuba in Season 1, but some new ones. The first one was called Pantera. Pantera was the first and the most successful nation. A lot of this episode will be about Pantera and their rise and influence on the world. Anyways, this is Pantera's flag. Wait a minute, wait. Okay, jokes aside. Pantera, there it is, glorious on the map. But there is many more nations. The Eastern Flow, Toland, the Syalan tribes. What are they? The Eastern Flow, let's start with that. The Eastern Flow politically were just neutral. They didn't want to get into anything. Oh yeah, and they were an alcohol company, like the Eastern Flow, flowing beverages like water flows. And they were also not in the east, they were in the west, so well done for that. Toland is just a bit of a nothing. If you remember in episode 2, they were New Pharaoh, but they're just neutral as well, like the Eastern Flow. But they weren't neutral because they wanted to, they were literally just doing absolutely nothing, barely active. And we have Syalan tribes down in the south. The Syalan tribes weren't a nation because they didn't have a place to stay. They always moved around, typically from a village to a trial chamber to somewhere else, because, well, mainly to get loot. And this worked because for the first few days they were the richest, even richer than Pantera, because they didn't focus on getting a home and building, a nice village. They just moved around from one structure to another. With neutrality still dominating the world, people would open a market and trade with each other. Nations would buy stuff like alcohol, totems, and even maces from each other. Now, I'll let my friend explain what's going to happen.
However, all good things had to come to an end. There began a rising increase of mafias and hitmen, and the first war was bound to erupt. Suspension from Syala went to the Great Bird Empire, drew out his sword, and punctured One Real Summer's heart. The war officially begun on the 20th of March 2025, or the year 10 on the server's recognised calendar, and nothing happened. Yes, there was one battle, where the Syalans rushed the Great Bird Empire out of their capital and stealing the stuff in there. It was mostly a kill-on-sight rivalry between the two. 2 days in, and Syala offers White Peace, Winter and his men decline, wanting to get some loot for compensation. A day after, Year 16, 23rd of March 2025, One Real Spring commits an assassination attempt on One Real Winter and the Great Bird Empire.
After the assassination attempt, despite being a fail but a success on One Real Spring, the government fell. Only after 8 days of its formation alongside the nation of the Great Bird Empire.
Right, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to them. Well, now that the TGBE is gone, we don't have to worry about the absolute AI propaganda. Just check this out. Sign up for the TGB army. We give you loot. Back to my underpaid actors.
The Great Bird Empire was definitely not alone. Soon nations were falling like drops of rain. In the year 36, the 2nd of March 2025, the Eastern Flow is raided and burnt to the ground. In year 39, 4th of March 2025, Syala officially announces its fall. Now all that is left is Pantera and Toland, but Pantera will soon meet a nation that will change their history.
Flame. On the 7th of March 2025, year 45, the Nation of Flame, long name Federation for Liberation, Authority, Machinery and Engineering, was formed. This is because Pantera had too many people in it and could not fit in Regina. Immigration was sky high, and that meant less and less loot in the socialist society of Pantera, where they would share their loot for new players. Some players would only log on once and get stacks of diamonds and armour, and it was just a big waste. This would also make them lose power because all these other people would sometimes leave the faction and it would make them have less and less power. Some of the people that joined were good. Mossy Sticky, a PvPer, he's also a YouTuber. Leventador, a farmer.
Soon, beliefs had adapted, and Pantera had started a belief of a religion known as Panteran paganism. It was a religion which believed that there was a god that once lived on the tip of the climbing high mountain of Mount Clyde, named by Cool Clyde, the person who discovered it. All went well. Many testaments and scriptures were given, and even some precious livestock. The livestock, however, didn't last long, because Ron Real Winter was here to kill them.
That wasn't the only thing Pantera had to worry about. Their trust levels were becoming really low because of a nation called Anoteris Arjin. Check out a future video that we'll be making soon, or go onto the website to find out more about this nation and the war that happened. See you later.
أحمد محسن يا أحمد يا محسن